Got to find the intro music.
Buzzhead Radio intro.
Buzzhead Radio.
Wow, wow. 3, 2, 1.
Rock and roll.
Calm down, Curtis.
Do good. Oh, you know what, though? The thing about the video is they can't hear that.
Can't you, like, in your wizardry, make that happen?
Yeah, I guess I'll. Maybe. Well, yeah, I can. Question is, do I have time? If I don't have time, our intro music is playing right now.
Are you still recording?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because I want the whole podcast to be video, so... Yeah.
I got you.
I'll just have to flip this with that, and this, and all that.
I don't know what he's doing.
Plus, we want to get Ken Hunnell and his business in there. On the,
can't forget Ken.
You know, we got to do all that cool stuff. So
where's my cheat sheet at?
Welcome to another episode of Buzzhead Radio. Buzzhead Radio. We are coming to you from the middle of America, right here from Enid, Oklahoma.
America.
And we've got another special guest on tonight's show, Mr. Wheeler.
Yes, we do. Mr. Matthew Dalton.
You guys, if you missed last week's episode, please go listen to Ben Azell talking about itinerant immersive. A abandoned spaceship, kind of a cool project. We got so many cool. That's what's going to make this podcast super cool for local people.
Because there's a bunch of super cool stuff
all these
going
cool projects going on. And if you don't live in Enid, Oklahoma,
sorry,
keep on listening because they're cool projects whether you live here or not.
Yeah.
And we'll,
you can just live vicariously through us.
Exactly. We got a cast of characters here in our town. You guys are going to want to know about. So,
yes, we do.
But we want to shout out real quick to Ken Hunnell and all the crew over there at Enid Auto Body, Mr. Wheeler.
Yes, we do. So, did you ever get your car fixed? No, you didn't get your car fixed. It was too bad.
He did fix it a year ago.
Yes, he did.
Just to have it totaled this year.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so if you have any hail damage, we haven't had any hail lately, have we?
Not in Enid. It
could be coming. If you do, if you have a fender bender, Walmart door ding, I like to call them Walmart door dings. Somebody runs a shopping cart into your car. If you piss off your ex-girlfriend and she keys the side of your truck, take it over to Ken at Enid Auto Body. And you can go to EnidAutoBody.com and get on their little estimate link. You can upload some pictures. They'll get back with you. Or you can call them at 580-234-5492. That's EnidAutoBody.com.
The number one sponsor of Buzzhead Radio. So we appreciate Ken and his crew over there.
And Ken, I haven't forgot. We'll get over there and get that work done. He's got some more work for me to do over there.
Exactly. And speaking of phone numbers, don't forget, 580-541-3805 is the Buzzhead hotline. Or email us at buzz@buzzheadmedia.com. Some of you have been, and I haven't really told Todd all of it, but I love all of your show ideas. Unfortunately, we can't do every idea you guys are sending, but please keep on sending because we just don't have enough. We'd have to do more episodes a week. So
for Buzzhead Radio,
yeah. So I eventually think everybody in town is going to want to be on Buzzhead Radio.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's the cool place to be.
I mean,
especially if you got a business or
a project going on.
Yeah,
so we've got a lot of. So be sure if you're listening to us, especially if you're a regular listener, tell all your friends. Tell them to listen because we're going to give you guys some scoop. We're going to give you rumors. We're going to give you innuendo. You're only going to hear on this show. I've got one tonight that I'm going to unleash on you guys. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you it anyway.
Do I know it, or is this new to me?
I think I've told you.
Oh, what is it? You tell us now?
Well, yeah, I have heard a rumor that Boot Barn is going into Hastings.
Boot Barn, yes.
And I can tell you that something is going into Hastings because they're cleaning it up. It's looking really nice. They've cleaned it out, and something is going in there. I have been rumored that it is going to be Boot Barn.
So Boot Barn is a place you buy boots?
But also a lot of Western wear.
And so now, and we also have a new Western wear place downtown.
Walker's going downtown.
You know what? I'm kind of remembering this. It's almost like things have come full circle. Remember, we used to be a lot of Western outfitters around. It's like, so Enid likes to go in cycles. So right now we're in the middle of a steak, car wash, and Western wear. Oh my God.
And I guess convenience stores.
Yeah.
Do you remember we went decades with no new convenience stores?
It was Holdings. That was it.
We lost 7-Elevens. We lost Circle K's. We lost everything and nothing. And now all of a sudden they're popping up everywhere. And
they're big and fabulous and bright and have all kinds of cool stuff. I go to Jiffy Trip every morning almost every morning. Kyle Williams, you should be a sponsor. Anyway.
Yeah, you people over at Jiffy Trip. And Kyle, they are expanding. They've got 2 new ones in Arkansas that just recently opened up. So yeah, but if you guys want to be a sponsor and have us talk more about Jiffy Trip, let us know.
And Jiffy Trip has some cute girls working there. That's not the only reason I go there.
It's not. Another thing that I've heard. So we're wondering what's going on over here.
Yeah.
On Cleveland.
Yeah.
Behind
Dollar
Tree.
Which just put their signs up this afternoon. I'm hearing water retention pond. Yes, you said that last week. Yeah.
Because
which makes sense.
Where the Dollar Tree is, that's where the water used to sit when it flooded.
Right.
And now that it's there, the water's got to go somewhere. And the one thing that Enid has learned since the 1973 flood is you got to have some place to let the water go.
Right.
So I have a feeling that's just going to be water.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like just north of there, that big apartment complex. There's a huge area out there. It's just really low. That's just a big water retention, not the pond.
There's a open area which I used to walk in because that's where I walked, and very few times did it ever have water in it. But during those 1973 flood times, that's when those are going to come in handy.
Yeah. So it'll be basically a green space.
Basically a green space.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the soccer fields are, a water retention area.
The old soccer fields.
Which they're still using, and they're getting ready to quit using them. But yeah. So those are kind of the rumors. Have you heard any rumors? Anything?
Well, no. I mean, I did notice the Dollar Tree signs going up. The signs on the building are pretty cool, but the freestanding sign is kind of ugh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, really? Come on, you've built this really cool, it's a nice building. They put a lot of work into it, and you got this yeah.
Well,
it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It is Dollar Tree, so.
It is a Dollar Tree, but.
It is what it is.
What else we got? Don't forget Champlin Pool will be opening May 30th. So if you guys are itching to get out there, man, we got like rain chances for the next 10 days. So if you can get out to the pool when it opens, get out there.
Yeah. The Twisters guys were filming last week
up in Kremlin, and they filmed in Orienta.
Yeah, they had like Midway. They just overtook the Midway up there. I had a Lowe's delivery guy tell me that there was just there's like he's like hundreds of cars in the Midway parking lot and big cranes and all this stuff, big video production.
Yeah,
so that'd be cool. That'd be cool when that comes out.
Yeah, and I think they have stopped filming in Oklahoma for a period of time, and I don't know if that's because they're filming somewhere else or they needed to take a break because of actors or something. But they will be filming again in June, and I put submitted again, so hopefully I'll get a part in June, I hope.
Yeah.
So
how come you're not putting me in there?
Well, I can't. They need your picture. You have to send in a picture.
You don't got a picture of me?
All your measurement. No, they want like a new picture, or like this last one you had to send in a shot from the chest up, and then a full body shot with your arms exposed. They did not want you. They did not want anybody with a tattoo on your arms.
Oh, I don't have any tattoos.
Well, but you have to show them a picture. I don't have a picture of you.
And so if I send my chest up, can I go topless?
Sure.
Because I have a nice chest.
Well, you might get the point. You might get this. You might get the starring role then. Tell Glenn Powell to look out. Here comes Todd.
Watch out!
Look out!
I could be his dad or something, or uncle.
Yeah. So I put in for a whole. They need like policemen, firemen, utility workers, cameraman, community. So there was like 5 or 6. I was like, just put me in wherever. Just so I sent my.
Put me in, coach.
So we'll see. I don't. Who knows?
I'm ready to play. Hey, that was loud. Sorry, I'll do that again.
Events coming up real quick. So next week we're going to have the new marketing manager of the Stride Bank Center, and we're going to talk about all of these events. But I'm going to give you the events really quick.
He's coming here.
She
coming to.
She'll be on the podcast. She'll be on the podcast next week. So be looking for her. Dwarfinators.
Yeah.
Coming June 2nd. Doug T's Hypno Show, June 24th. Ooh. Hell's Bells on July 22nd. Chris Young, July 28th. Travis Ledout's Sun and Stars. That's kind of like a Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, where they impersonation type show. That's coming September 1st. Beach Boys will be here September 30th.
Cool.
Somebody I think Christopher Todd Davis just posted that somebody famous is like drumming for them now.
Yeah, he did.
Something. And then this is going to be really cool. Did you see the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yes.
It's coming November 3rd.
Yes.
But it's Barry Bostwick, who is actually in the movie, will be here to talk about being in the movie, and then he will sit through a screening of the movie. But it's going to be one of those movies where there's shadow people up on the screen, in front of the screen, acting out what's happening behind the screen, and the people in the audience will be screaming and yelling and throwing things.
Throwing toast.
We'll be throwing toast. And so it's going to be a super interactive, like the old Rocky Horror Picture Show days. So definitely get your tickets for that November 3rd.
That'd be cool.
But we'll go into lots more detail on all of these events next week's episode.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Are we ready to talk to Matthew?
I think we'll get Matthew in here, and he's got a super cool project I think you guys are going to love. So, Matthew, come on in.
The famous Matthew Dalton.
Matthew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's honestly a pretty cool setup you guys have here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. This is Studio A. Studio B is at Curtis's house. It's a nice studio. His place is really nice.
Mine's kind of 70. Now this is kind of 70s, but mine's like over the top 70s.
Uber 70s, but it's small.
It is too small. And so this was our setup when we had our office downtown.
Yeah.
And so now we're trying to get back downtown. So if anybody's listening and you've got office space at a very, very reasonable rate, we would like to podcast from an office there. So
yeah, and if you have like a business we can promote, and maybe
we could trade out
and stuff. Yeah,
so
we're always doing the entrepreneur thing.
Yeah. So just because Todd's house is kind of on a weird, it's at the end of, and it's we think it'd be easier to have guests just come downtown. So
yeah, probably.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of people come lately.
We have had a lot of people come out here, but
which is what we want. But we would push harder if we had a.
In the winter it's dark out here, and so when you have girls come out, it's a little dark and creepy, and
it's honestly not hard to find though. It's super easy once you're here.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And I'm glad you came to the back door. And
I told him to.
Okay, cool. Because the front, I let the neighbor girl park over here. Yeah. That's not my car. That's her car. Yeah. Anyway, so people are like, "Why is there some car in your driveway?" Long story. Anyway.
Yeah.
So why is Matthew here?
Well, Matthew is got a super duper cool project that people have been talking about for decades. People have like scratched the surface. People have come up with ideas, but nobody has actually started the process until Mr. Matthew Dalton has things going. So kind of explain why you're here, what you're doing, and then we'll fire off some questions for you.
That would be perfect. So the drive-in on Van Buren, like you said, a few people have tried to do it, and in my opinion, the reason why it hasn't really come to full fruition is because once you start plugging the numbers away at a drive-in at that scale, movies are not that comfortable in your car. And whenever you're sitting there, just you can go get a better movie if you pay at the cinema. I think what people are missing nowadays is the community aspect of the drive-in theater. And so we're revamping the theater because I think that's important to get going. Enid really wants to see that happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be more of a nostalgia night. So we're going to do like 1 or 2 nights a month where we go through and we put on Facebook, hey, we're going to do 1 of 3 movies or 1 of 2 movies. Which one do you want to see? And it'll be a free event for the public to come out. But other than that, it'll be a private rental space. So Enid, if you're not in Enid, there's not really a whole lot, in my opinion, of good outdoor venue spaces for concerts or for get-togethers that you can really go to, not feel like you have to watch the kids. There's a lot of roads and stuff where if you take your eyes off the kids, they could be any number of places. With this, we're going to have it fenced in. You'll come in kind of like an apartment style. Be a keypad on the left. Gate opens. You can go back there, run around, hang out, and have a good time. And then food trucks on the back half. It'll just be an outdoor community space other than that.
Yeah, I was going to say when you first started out I know we do the 70s Buzz podcast, and it's all about nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's going to be your number one factor for so many people is just they know it's probably not going to be the most comfortable seating. It's not going to be the best quality, this or that, but it's going to be the fact that you're sitting in a drive-in movie theater, just like the old days. So real quick, what we're talking about is the Trail Drive-In on South Van Buren. The screen has never gone away. It's been there. Do you remember, have you looked up or have you seen what year that closed down?
From the best I could tell, I've seen 1972. I've heard early 80s.
It was early 80s.
Somewhere, the best part I can pinpoint it is early 80s, late 70s. But I have no firm date.
No, it was there when we were in high school.
Yeah, so it was the 80s. It was definitely 80s. So I'll track that down, and I may have it on a post somewhere. But and so all the humps are still there.
Correct.
It's just kind of overgrown. There's a lot of trees. There's a lot of bushes. All of the meter or the poles for the speakers are gone. But so with new movie theaters, explain how that works with sound.
It's really cool. If you've gone around, you might have seen a few of the houses around here have the Christmas lights that are synced to music. Some people like that and don't like that. I asked around, and there was a few people that don't like this audio going through their cars. It's just projected over your FM radio. Please tune to this. Some people don't have the greatest car audio, and so that's what their worry is. So we're going to have it so you can tune to the radio. We're going to have separate radios if you don't have good car audio. Okay. You can rent a radio. It's not going to be the old school ones. I think
not
the nostalgia
that crappy speaker hanging on my window. That if you try to turn it up, it goes.
But see, that was the fun. You know what's going to be?
Put a couple of those in just for grids.
I will say that you are eliminating a lot of people coming by not charging because you're going to miss out on a trunk full of like 3 or 4 guys in the trunk trying to sneak in to save a little money.
So in all fairness, the community day will be free.
But you are going to do regular.
We'll charge for the movie, but the community day, whenever we charge for that movie, it's literally going to be whatever our cost for the movie is. There's commercial viewing right. You have to pay for commercial viewing rights. The brand new movies are really, really, really expensive. The older movies, which is kind of the nostalgia night aspect of it, they've been viewed so many times, they've made their money, so they're a lot less expensive. So we're going to take whatever the cost of the movie is, divide it out, and then we'll charge cost on that day. But someone asked me about that. They were like, how are you going to stop people from hiding in the trunks? And I was like, I don't care.
We went in trunks all the time. And there was a special tree at the back of the other drive-in.
The Enid.
You could just climb up the tree and hop over the branch, and the car would come in, and all the 5 guys would hop back in the car once the one guy came in.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, I mean that was the fun. So are you saying once it and you don't have like a kind of a time frame, but once it gets going, you will have like newly released movies out there?
We'll see. I have not priced what a newly released movie commercial rights are going to cost me. But we will be viewing movies. So if they're at all reasonable and we can get those, then we'll play new movies as they come out.
I want to watch Blazing Saddles at the drive-in.
So tonight, on the Enid Buzz question. What movie would you like to see at the drive-in theater? So we'll see. We'll see what we'll have to keep that and save it somewhere. It'll have everybody.
Is it up yet?
I think it posts at 7:30. What time is it? It hadn't posted yet. So hopefully we'll get a whole bunch of responses.
Yeah, you have to keep me apprised of that. That would be an interesting question. I've had someone ask about it, and that was the question I asked him too. Like, which movie do you want to see out there? And he said the new Mario movie, and I was like, that's gonna be pricey.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's Star Wars. Think about seeing Star Wars out there. How cool would that be?
Someone told me I need to play Saving the Drive-In. I still haven't watched it. They're like, have you seen the movie Saving the Drive-In?
I don't think I've seen Saving the Drive-In.
I guess it's an old Hallmark movie that's kind of just like an old... Yeah, and they're like, have you seen it? And I was like, no, I've had it mentioned to me, and I just have not buckled down. I don't watch a lot of TV and movies. I'm so tied up in other things that I just can't bring myself to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
But she was like, you got to do it. I was like, all right, maybe we'll play that one. Who knows?
Yeah, well, we'll have to look it up too.
So, are you gonna? Okay, my favorite thing as a kid, not when we were older in high school. We went to the drive-in movie theater. So Friday night, I think it was Saturday nights. We'd go. We'd stop at the A&W drive-in.
On the way out there.
And then we go to the drive-in with. I was a wee kid, but they had that swing set out front.
Yeah.
Right at the bottom of the screen.
Do you have your computer where you can pull up the internet?
Yeah, but I'm recording this on it, so
you'll have to look this up later. If you go to inflatable-zone.com.
Yeah, Kip was telling me you're doing something about that.
So there's a few things with us clearing out all the land and me not thinking that the drive-in is going to be self-sustaining for long term. What we're going to do is essentially have we're going to make it so you can have an inflatable village out there. If you go to that website, if you really want to go down a rabbit hole, just scroll down, hit more, hit the amusement park button, and then price it high to low. There's an entire amusement park inflatable city that's for adults.
Play how cool is that?
There's also, I don't know if you guys went back there and taken family photos or anything. A lot of photographers use that drive-in. There is wedding, like white bouncy castles and stuff like that. So we're going to have it where if you want to rent the theater out, I've had this question pop up a few times. Is it going to be affordable? You can rent the entire space out for $100 for 2-hour block.
Oh, wow.
But it'll just be the space. You can rent it, and all that money's going back into it. Now, if you're saying, hey, we're going to do a community night for the base, and we want the space, we want 2 of the inflatable pubs, we want the inflatable nightclub. And
inflatable pub, yeah. Kip mentioned that.
Yeah, so I haven't gone and approached anybody about that just because I wanted to get some work done at the event or the theater before I started talking to anybody. But there's a couple people around town that I think would be pretty interested in sponsoring an inflatable pub because you can put their branding on it. So
cool.
Being a branding guy, I appreciate that.
Oh, so. Yeah. Have you talked to Stephen Hager out at Pheasant Run? Because he does inflatable water parks. So
he's honestly, I actually with the promo company, we do business with Steven. We do all of their golf, their what are they called, beer bags and stuff like that out there. And that is what made me go down the rabbit hole of the inflatables. The inflatable buildings does a couple things. It makes it so I can blow them up and tear them down, but it also makes it so I don't have to adhere to any city codes. It's a 40 by 40 building. But if I was to construct a 40-40 building, permit, bathroom and stuff, and then the next people come out 3 hours later and they're like, we just need the land. We don't need all that stuff. So I don't need to pay extra for it. But yes, so Stephen Haggard, he said that he has a couple of those water parks. And they do really well.
They do really well. He's bringing one to Enid. I'll throw it out there. And they were supposed to be done this last year.
I know.
And things didn't happen. But
I was excited about that. Because I didn't realize it was him, but my family lives out in, or Tara's family lives out in Sand Springs. And we were going to go to it, but we decided against it. It started raining or something the day. But that was like 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And whenever he said he was bringing it to Enid, I got really excited about that because I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they would geek out about it.
Oh, yeah. They'll love it.
Yeah.
So tell everybody the name.
Okay.
And then talk about kind of the community thing going on this weekend.
All right, so the name of the park is going to be called Freedom Plains Park. We're doing that for 2 reasons. Whenever I was out there, we took photos, and it's really cool. If you can go out there on a sunny day, the planes use that as a landmarker.
Oh, really?
So they turn around it, and it was so cool. I was sitting there talking to someone, and the plane banks right around the screen. And you, on a really sunny day, can see inside the cockpit and see the pilot. And I was like, man, that is so cool. I remember doing that whenever I was growing up on military bases, just watching the planes fly by. But then Enid, we're the plainsmen. And so Freedom Plains for our Freedom Plains. And then we have Freedom Plains because
cool,
we are the plainsmen. And there's actually a secret that's going on. I'll tell you about it. The whole bottom of that screen facing the road, we're going to do a mural of Enid throughout the years.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
So that'll be on the viewing side or the side you don't see? Side you see when you're driving in.
Correct, yeah. The side you'll see from Van Buren. So Oklahoma City has these big OKC bubble letters. I don't know if you've ever seen those. If you type in OKC bubble letters into Google, you'll see them. Huge, massive bubble letters. We're going to do one for Enid. So we're going to have Enid bubble letters, and then behind that, we're going to have just a mural of Enid throughout the years.
Would that be like a Tox Merlot
like a
mural?
pack-a-sack? Well, so Tox is one of the people that I'm really looking out. So he is pretty booked. He has a lot of stuff going on. Brennan Mahaffey over at Painted, his wife and him are designing something for me right now.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what it's going to look like. I have no idea what the intricacy of all of it's going to be. All I told him is I want Enid throughout the years of stuff that's kind of come and gone that people really miss, like Pack-a-Sack and some of that stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
Reminds me of our T-shirt.
Yeah. We got a T-shirt out if you need some old businesses that are gone. It's got all of them listed on it. So,
cool. So if you go to, you can have like a concession stand or.
So yes, at first we're gonna have it where the food trucks come in.
Oh, food trucks, yeah.
So you'll pull in, and then the back half of the property will have 4 or 5 food trucks. Where the projector house is gonna go, there will be a concession stand in the bottom of it. The problem with the concession stand is that there's no water out there and there's no sewer, and for the health code and stuff like that, you have to have commercial sinks and whatnot. So that's the part that's going to take a little bit of time before we're fully self-sufficient.
Well, I don't know that you would ever need a concession stand if you have food trucks all the dang time.
That's we have a few food trucks. Like there's a.
Or if you just sell candy, I mean, boxed candy that you don't really have to cook anything.
But you're going to have to build a building to put the projector in, right?
I found 2, so we're not going to build them. There's some sheds, a lot of shed places popping around.
Uh-huh.
I already have them found. There's a security shack and a projector house. Those are the 2 buildings that we're going to start out with. They cost about $10,000 a piece. And so as we sell sponsorships at the theater, we're going to use that money to go out and purchase those 2. The projector is the thing that's really high. It's about $65,000 just for the projector, not including any of the broadcasting equipment. So it's going to take a few farmers markets and events to pad the bank account before we can move into the big stuff.
Yeah. So this is kind of a pipe dream, and you're wanting to get it open as soon as possible as an event venue.
Correct.
And we don't want to get people too excited that it's going to be a drive-in movie theater like in 6 months, because that's not going to happen.
No drive-in movie theater this summer.
No, unless we have some funding come through. We are setting it up as a nonprofit, so I'm in the process of trying to get it set up as a 501c3. All the money we make with the theater is going right back into the theater, and I hadn't considered setting it up as a nonprofit until I'd mentioned that to a few people, and they were like, why aren't you doing this as a nonprofit if you're going to donate all the money back into it? Because that opens you up to a lot of other business owners who want to contribute.
Yeah.
It just might not make sense financially. And so if we have some money come through, then I'm fully prepared to go out there and do all the work to get it set up. I've been camping out there every single weekend from Friday till Sunday at 5 or 6 in the night. My wife doesn't even see me. She comes out and brings me food.
So you're camping.
I was going to say, yeah, so we kind of got off subject. So explain what's going on this weekend.
So this weekend we're doing a community cleanup and camp out, pending we don't get rained out. I've been watching the weather, and it looks like it's kind of it's looking ugly, but we're hoping the Oklahoma wind just blows it by. But if the weather can hold out or go past us fast, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and clean up. I have a lot of the trees knocked down, and the smaller trees you can literally go out there and just pull them up out of the ground. Because they haven't broke through the asphalt. They're just on the thin layer. Wow. They're just on the thin layer of dirt above it. But then after the cleanup, I think that it would be fun for all of us to, whoever wants to stay out there, if you're going to volunteer, you should be able to enjoy the park with us. And so we're going to have a camp out and just kind of enjoy each other's company, fellowship. And then Sunday, whenever we wake up, we're going to clean. I'll tie everything up, see how much work we got done, clean it up a little bit the best we can. But it's been just me out there for a little while, except for this last weekend. I had a couple friends come down and help me, and three of us can knock out a lot of work. And right now, I think we have 5 for sure coming and 95 people interested in coming to the event. Cool. And so if I have half that many people show up, we can get a lot of work done, pending the weather.
Yeah, and so you've got a Facebook page. Yep. Tell them the Facebook page, and then I think is there a sign up?
Yes,
people can sign up.
Yep. So if you go to Freedom Plains Park on our Facebook, I have it pinned right to the very top. So pending we do get rained out, if you go on there and you put interested or going, or if you're out of town and you can't make it because it is Memorial Day weekend, if you already have plans and you can't,
it is this weekend.
Yeah. Already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
that. I said the same thing. I posted the event and someone was like, "Well, you might not get a good turnout," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I completely forgot."
Yeah.
But if we do get rained out or something like that, then we're just gonna postpone it until the next day we can. I'm out of town the following weekend, so it might be a Tuesday, it might be a Wednesday, but I'll definitely keep everybody updated, and that would be the way and easiest way to get updated on it.
Yeah. Everybody needs to like that Facebook page, and you'll get all the updates. And every post that I'm doing on it, I'll have it highlighted, so you guys can just click on there, and all you have to do is highlight, put your cursor over it, and you can like the page just from the tagged thing. So
I found it.
Do you have you don't have a website up yet, right?
No, I do.
You do? Okay.
Yep. So right now it's just freedomplainspark.com. Freedom Plains Park on Facebook and Instagram. That's as far as I'm going in the social media channels.
That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
I'm not doing the Twitter or anything like that with it yet. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I do Twitter for Enid Buzz, and it's crickets. So don't worry about Twitter.
Yeah, Enid doesn't do Twitter.
No. It seems like those are the two. If you want pictures and you want information, we're going those.
Exactly. Yeah. So what inspired you to do this? Like you say, we know Tony Whedon tried it about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, or a year ago. So what inspired you to do it? And then how did you get it to the point where you are now, where they couldn't get it to this point?
What did you do, mister?
I smiled a lot. No, if you go to my face, it's actually super funny. If you go to my Facebook page, at the very top, the header image, the photographer, we took our family photos out there.
Oh, okay.
And the photographer said, "Hey, say something funny." And she didn't realize that we had walked around the entire park 3 or 4 times. And I was like, "Man, this place is awesome." And my wife was like, "Please don't. Please don't." And I was like, "I'm not doing anything." And she was like, "No, I just know you, and you're going to, please don't." And I was like, "I'm not doing anything." Well, during that photo, the photographer said, "Say something that'll make your dad laugh." And Caden was like, "Hey, Dad, are we going to buy this place?" And I just shook my head. So in that photo, I'm shaking my head and laughing. And Tara is actually gritting her teeth.
Oh,
she is not smiling.
Funny.
So we have our family photos set to go back out there. We're cleaning it up, and then we're going to go back out there and take some photos. To answer your other question about how we got it done, is I went. Tara's in real estate, so that kind of helped. I went and I said, "Hey, please find out who owns that place so I can go talk to him." And she was like, "No." She
didn't want to.
She pushed it off. And finally I got her to give me the people's information. And they're out in Tulsa, and they're super good people. I called them up and I said, "Hey, my name is Matt Dalton. I am a little bit out there, but I would love to sit down and meet you in person. I have some ideas for your property that's out here, And he was like, sure. And I was like, all right, well, I'll come whenever you want. He's like, well, I'm free for lunch. I was like,
wow,
that sounds good. I'll meet you there. He's like, where are you coming from? I was like, doesn't matter. I'll be there. So I drove out to Tulsa and sat down with him, and I was visiting with him about, okay, well, I want to do a farmer's market, and we're going to generate those funds, and we're going to put that back into it. And I laid out everything for him. And his wife was like, he's like, hold on. Call his wife up. He's like, you need to talk to her. So I started talking to her. And she was like, this is perfect. I just want to see something done with it. And the farmer's market idea, I just don't have the time to commit to going down there and setting up a farmer's market and doing all that. And I said, okay, well, you don't know me. And so this is going to be a risk for you. And this is going to be a risk on me for a lot of time commitment. So we partnered on it. So
cool.
So they're going to get a portion of the profits. So
as they should.
Yep. Until it's paid back. And so we will pay them back for their piece of property, and we're paying them a fair price for it. But they're willing to work through it with us.
Well, that's very cool.
They're allowing me to go through and clean it up and stuff like that. And then as we start making money, then we'll start paying them back for the property. So they're very great people. They own, I have them listed on our website as a sponsor. They own Pickle. It's a piping company out of Tulsa.
And so is that what they had bought the property for originally? Was any idea?
Yeah, no, they told me everything. So they bought the property originally. Do you remember the Coke expansion that was happened like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
They acquired the property right before that, and they own a piping company. And so what they were going to do was go out and put a man, I'm blanking on the name. A camper. They were going to do a
camping area.
Yes, for people. They knew that there was going to be a wave of people coming in, and there's not enough campsites because all those workers come in on a 6 or a year contract, and they have massive campers. They just need a location to dock them, and so they were going to put all that in. But the piping, his cost, and again, he owns a piping company. The cost was going to be a little over $1 million. And by the time they were going to install it and everything, they would have missed the wave. And so it just didn't make sense for him to do anything with it. And then, as you might know, the property just has been sitting around for so long that commercial lenders are going to, hey, what's the last thing that how much did the property make last?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even have any pictures of it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So the one thing you keep bringing up that we have not even really talked about that I get asked almost every week is, does Enid have a farmer's market?
Oh, we need one.
So
bad.
So how soon could we get a farmer's market out there? Because people want it really bad.
That could pop up in a week.
Yeah, it can. And so I tell people, so our first event, I'm shooting for the 3rd Saturday in June.
Awesome.
I wanted to do second Saturdays because we have first Fridays, and second Saturdays just really rolls off the tongue. But they do have a small farmer's market going on in Sunset Plaza.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to compete or take away anything. I want to do as much as possible to bring businesses in every single week. And so even though it doesn't roll off the tongue as good, we're going to go with the 3rd Saturday in June. And yeah, once we have the property cleared out, farmers market's really quick and easy. People can come out, they can see the place. It'll give us a good opportunity to show it all to everybody for free and charge a small fee to the vendors that go out there that they're used to paying anyways. And all of that money, again, will go back into and help fund the next stage. So.
Well, very cool. Yeah, I mean, I kid you not. Every week, somebody's hitting me up saying, "Where's the farmers market in Enid?" And I'm like, "Yeah, not so much, not anymore."
No, we're hoping that we can do that and on a regular, like maybe even a weekly basis, if there's enough traction. For sure, on a monthly basis. Hey, come out here, and if it's regular and people know that they can go out there, it won't just be the farmers market. We'll have the inflatables blown up, and it'll be just a community area that you can go and hang out for the day, go eat the food trucks, go shop, just let the kids run around and be a little wild and just enjoy the planes flying over you.
And every once in a while, watch a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah,
exactly. On the weekend.
Yeah,
when that gets up.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's going to be like a multifunctional area.
And that's kind of what they're doing out at Pheasant Run. They're turning that into what used to be a golf course into pickleball, and it'll be a water park. And
has he talked to you about Fling yet?
Fling. They've got fling going on out there.
That's really cool since I don't know how to get a golf ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're actually flinging.
They actually fling the ball.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
I have not seen it in person. He told me about it before it was there. He was showing us videos and stuff.
And they've already had one tournament.
Yeah.
So
they had a real estate tournament, I believe, out there.
Oh yeah. So I'm out there not super frequently like the old days, but I asked one of the golfers. I was like, "So how do you feel about playing?" I mean, because they mix them up.
You can play, both at the same time.
And I'm like, "Hey, is it fair? Is it?" And they were like, "Yeah."
But I don't think he would score against each. It seems like the people flinging would score against. I don't think he would score against a golfer. I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's a whole other subject.
Yeah. And he's going to have a hole-in-one. I think they're going to build an island and have a hole-in-one challenge out there as
fairly
well.
soon. I think that's coming up really fast.
Oh, there's $1 million thing I noticed on the billboards.
Yeah.
That's at Meadow Lake, though.
Oh, it is?
I think it's at Meadow Lake. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Well, they're in cahoots, kind of. You can buy the dual membership for a while. Anyway, but so lots of cool stuff coming in. But your deal is, nostalgia and event space, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yep, we're hoping that it's something that Enid really just brings back a little bit of life. There's, like I said, not a whole lot of outdoor community spaces where you can go and let the kids run around. The other fun part about after the park is up and going and running, what we're going to do is with the groundskeepers and the people that are on staff, once the park's clean, we're going to reach out to churches and some other community partners and say, hey, what can we do to go out there and help? We might be out there picking up trash at some other property that we don't own. We might be mowing someone's yard if they're elderly or disabled and they just can't get to it anymore.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
By setting it up as a nonprofit, it opens us up to a lot of other venues where there's only so much work to be done out there. Once it's up and going and mowed, you can mow it every single day if you really want to, but why not just go out and help somebody else? You can come back once a week and mow our place. We'll pay for you to go out and take care of the other people in Enid.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I don't remember a lot of grass out there when I was a kid. It seemed like it was all gravel.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of grass now.
Yeah.
It's not, but again, it's not all the way through. It's what's happened is that the Oklahoma wind has just blown a lot of dirt in, and then the grass is just taking hold of that dirt. But you can literally go up there and just pull it all up, and there's nice, fresh asphalt underneath it.
Yeah,
Really?
but if you let it go too long, it overgrows.
Sure.
Like it. So nooks and crannies and along the fence line. So that's what's going to need to be kept up.
Yep.
On a weekly basis and stuff. But wow.
So what happened to the old concession stand photo, the projector building? Did it just fall apart or?
Truthfully, I have zero idea. I have seen one photo of it. And the railing is still out there. The metal railing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and the cement pad I think is still there.
Yep. So we're gonna put the projector building right back on that same pad, and that pole. I've been trimming trees around it, and there's only one tree that's enclosed a bit around that pole.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep those poles up too. It's honestly it's in the exact same spot, but there's no rubble or anything like that. So I don't know if someone tore it down a while back. You would think that there would be wood pile or something, but there's none of that.
Yeah, interesting.
Somebody out there knows.
Yeah.
So how is the actual screen pretty structurally sound?
Yeah, there's one spot in the bottom, right in the middle, that's a little bit loose. But it's 2 bolts, and the holes are already there.
Oh,
perfect.
cool.
We got a quote for the paint to repaint the entire thing, and so we're ready to move on it as soon as we have, just like I said, a little bit of funding come through. I have the projector house, the security house, the fencing, the paint, and everybody ready to move on it just as soon as that comes in.
So kind of list your needs. I know there's money, volunteers. Kind of just let everybody know what, if somebody's out there really excited about this and wants to help, tell them how they can help you.
First and foremost, what we need to do is get a security shack, fencing, just so we can...
Now you say security shack.
So it's just somewhere for staff to go that has an air conditioning unit.
Okay.
I would say we're going to start with a projector house, but the projector house is just going to be a little bit more expensive, and we're probably not going to buy the
And you don't need
projector.
that until the drive-in part's up and running.
Yeah, so with the security shack, right when you go in is where we're going to put the keypad for people to come in and out. We're calling them park insiders, but if you pay a monthly fee, you'll have unrestricted access to the park, so you can go back there whenever you want. I don't know if you've ever heard of a hammock jungle. Just a big bunch of posts and stuff that they'll go out there and they'll strap their hammocks to and just have like a reading session.
Oh,
or
really?
just go out there. Yep. So
Wow.
it'll just be an outdoor area where you can go and just kind of relax. Once you're back in that park, you don't feel like you're in Enid anymore. All of the trees and brush and stuff, other than some of the car noises every once in a while, you just feel like you're in the middle of the field.
Huh. So the gate or the building that we used to pay at when we were driving in, that's gone.
Yeah. Yep. Where was that? At the by Van Buren?
No,
it was back off the road, just about to the screen, almost to the screen.
It was a couple of 100 yards from the screen.
So there was like as long. I mean, because there would be cars just lined up, and there was somebody at this.
It was probably just
like a toll booth
like
almost.
a tiny little booth.
And you pay there's only one of us in this car, and there was 5 in the trunk, and and then you go in. But I just remember it's a big old long like a driveway. And
and that's why the booth was up there, because you needed the space in the back for the cars to line up, not be out on Van Buren.
And they lined up. They did line up.
Yeah. That's the road that goes all the way to Van Buren, even that road's still good. It just has grass that's grown over it. But you'll pull in, and I'm trying to do this in order so I can think of it, but you'll pull in, the security shack will be right alongside, there's a fence that's out there. It'll go right by the fence, and then there will be a cattle guard gate that'll open to let you in. Whenever we're having our events, it'll just stay open. You'll just check in. So the security shack, then we're going to have 2 gates, which is just like an apartment style. One, you put your keypad in, you get in, and then the other one will be a sensor. When you pull up, and it'll open out for you. And then fencing all the way around. The fence is really important just to keep trash and stuff like that from coming in. I think a lot of people are used to going out there and dumping stuff because it's not going to be seen again for a long time. And so on the weekends, I spend a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, picking up just trash.
What a bummer.
Yeah.
People can be jerks.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer. There's a few people that go back there and they're like, "Hey, we're sorry, we're leaving." I'm like, "No, it's okay. You're okay back here. I'm not kicking you out. I just want to make sure you're not dumping trash. You can be back here right now. There's nothing to steal. You're not going to hurt anything. Just don't want you to leave any trash."
Yeah.
But
so, sorry, I got off subject there. So, security shack,
projector house, couple gates, and then automatic gate openers, and then fencing. And really, if we could get that up and going, then we'll have the event either late June or going into July, and that will fund a couple of those, and we'll have the projector purchased. It's $65,000, but between that and selling the sponsorships, we should have most all of the funding. It's after that, it's going to be getting electricity ran to the building. There's some of that stuff that you still got to work through. I think OG&E is pretty willing to come out there and run wiring and stuff up to a certain point, but after that, we're going to have it in the ground. We can't have wires hanging over. So I honestly haven't even called them to price that because we're not there yet.
Yeah, but once you become a nonprofit, then you've got funds from like Park Avenue Thrift and a whole bunch of other places in town that help.
They like to fund people.
Yeah, and that's where it goes back. So the Park Avenue Thrift, there's Forgotten Ministries that I've heard. There's a lot of like places in town that really try to help people get back on their feet. And whenever we're hiring our groundskeeping crews who are also going to go out there and help, that's a lot of the places that we're going to source from and say, "Hey, do you have anybody that you'd think would be a good fit for us? We're looking for 2 people on our groundskeepers crew. They're going to maintain this, and then they're going to be called roamers. They're going to roam Enid, just looking for beautification projects. Hey, we found this area. It looks like it has a lot of graffiti. We're going to spend the next week cleaning that graffiti up, and then we'll contact the city of Enid, let them know what we're doing, and that's going to be their only job, is prettying up our town."
Wow, that's a whole nother cool thing.
Yep. So the theater itself is a really awesome project for me. After the theater's up and going, I think there's a whole lot of more there's a lot of cool projects we can do with the money after that, because there's only so much money you're going to spend at the theater.
Yeah. I think of all the events and things that go on at Government Springs Park, and I think, how cool would it be to have that at the drive-ins? Because some people don't come because they just can't really get around very well. But if you could just drive in there and watch a Shakespeare in the Park or some concerts and not ever get out of your car, I mean, you're going to open it up to a lot of people in Enid that can't go to events because they can't get around very well, or they're shy and they don't want to get out.
There's a lot of old people in Enid, too.
Well, there's a lot of old people, but again, too, like my mom.
Yeah,
I bet my mom would have gone to Shakespeare in the Park every chance or Chautauqua. There's so many different things that you could have out there, again, where people could literally just stay in their car.
Yeah, and the theater doesn't have to be a movie. So right underneath the theater, we're planning on building a stage for outdoor like concerts and stuff like that.
That'd be super cool.
And what's really cool is the acoustics.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're just talking and you're at the back half of the property, you can hear it fairly well. So you don't have to sit there and
just think about a band up there playing with some
like
type of video, with some type of video in the background.
Yeah, and you can, if like you said, if someone wants to come and park in the very back, they're shy, they don't want to really get up into the whole crowd, they don't want to get out of their car, we can have a live feed of that person projected on, just like the big time, where they can see it. You'll hear it plenty fine, and you don't have to intermingle with anybody if you don't want to. But then if you do want that community aspect, hop on out.
Get out of your car and come on up.
Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool place for bands to. I can see.
Does Enid have an outdoor? I mean, Government Springs, which isn't really set up for outdoor concerts. We don't.
And
really
the parking sucks over there.
Well, yeah. So we don't really have an outdoor concert. Now they were going to build one in the green space where Romy put her art, which I guess could still happen once Family Dollar is gone. But I think that idea is gone.
There's not a whole lot of space that's out there. And then again, you run into the road issues where you have to be careful. Even if the city wants to support you, they got to also mind with the post office that's down there. They can't close off some of those roads.
Yeah.
And then closing off roads is a hassle.
Yeah.
The benefit with the theater is, hey, it's a 400-car parking lot.
We
have plenty of space.
I was just getting ready to
come on
ask
out.
you how many cars you can get. You get 400 cars out there?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's what it says listed. If you look up some history on the drive-in, it says.
I think I remember seeing that, and I thought, really?
Yeah.
But maybe so. I don't know. We'll have to do some research.
You could probably pack them in there, but
the figures I have run, I have 200 that I whenever they were like 400, I was like, that's not happening. So whenever I was doing projections, I based it on 200 cars. Yeah, just because
still.
I don't. Cars back in the day were big cars, though. It's not like they're any smaller.
And I tell you, man, I remember that going up to the booth to pay. It was. Was it 2 cars wide going in? Seems like it was 2 cars wide going in.
I don't know.
It was like 2 cars wide going in and 1 car wide going out, or something like that. Or maybe it was the opposite. But there was a crap ton of cars out there.
Yeah. Well, and another thing is that the walking trail that Enid has.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job. If you look, I just took fresh aerial photos, and if you go look, the walking trail dead ends right at my property.
Did you know they just extended it, so you could literally be at Walmart and walk to the drive-in theater all on the walking trail.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
And the military base is right there too. So once they build that all the way out, so it's our property, and then I talked to the neighbors next to us, and then his brother actually owns the property right there, and that's the issue where there's his house is right where they need to build that. But I think the solution there is they just pop across the street, and it goes over to the farm on Norman, the Airbnb that's out there. And I think that they wouldn't mind having a walking trail right along
Oh,
there.
yeah. No, I bet they'd love it.
Yeah, so I think it might just take a little tweaking of their schematics that they have. But once that walking trail is up, you can walk to the park and then walk through the rest of the town. It's honestly a really good location.
I'm not walking. I'm driving.
Todd's not walking, but I could see things like on 4th of July. You got the 4th of July fireworks show at Meadow Lake, but you guys have a pre-concert. People go to the concert, then they walk on the trail right over to Meadow Lake and watch the fireworks.
Dude, you've tapped into a gold mine.
Well, so
if people will help out, it's going to take a lot of help and a lot of work.
it will take a lot of help and a lot of work. And
You're young.
I do think, I've been out there bruising myself up. I work with my head doing promo and stuff like that all the time. And so the physical labor has been such a big stress relief. You don't have to think about moving something. You just got to move it.
Yeah.
And so it's been nice just picking stuff up. And I've gotten scraped and cut up. And my wife's like, man, you were bleeding. I was like, feels great.
It was working.
Yeah. It feels good. So I don't mind. But your point with the gold mine, I think that there's a potential for a lot of money. The money, though, I think can be spent in good, responsible ways in and around Enid.
Sure.
And there's so much good that can be done in town with it. So a lot of people are worried, like I've seen someone like, don't volunteer because you're just putting money in someone else's pocket. And I think that the way that Enid should look at this is that, and it's going to take a little trust at the beginning.
Yeah, and that's a stigma you're going to have to get over.
It's going to take a little trust, and I think that once the money flows in, that I'll prove it to everybody. But once the money comes in, we start doing other projects around town, I think that that's really where the gold mine will come in, because you're right. We're so close. We're so close to a lot of other things that once that strip that connects us to Van Buren, I'm going to see about redoing that. The concrete's going to be ridiculously expensive, I'm sure, but there's car shows that we can move into.
Car shows.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a great place for car shows.
There's so much that you can do, and then it's just
a
what
car
you
show
do
in a
with that.
drive-in movie theater? Holy crap, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Van Buren Cruise Night and you show American Graffiti out there and everybody comes in their hot rods? How cool would that be?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
You guys make this happen.
This is going to be so much fun.
And it is so hard to start something like this without a person doing it. And then but then, like you say, there's going to be naysayers that are like, well, yeah, but you're just helping this guy out, and you're going to make him rich, when that's not exactly what your
Matthew don't want to get rich.
It's not what your intent is for everybody to help you get rich. Is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, and I think a lot of people, everybody in the world is so money focused. We work hard to earn a paycheck, and so everybody's assuming that one person's trying to get over on the other person, and that's just something that's been built up over. It happens a lot, and so that's why I said I think it's going to take a little trust at first, and I'm also willing to. I would love as much help as possible, but we've sold our real estate in Utah, and I'm willing to do all the work and fund this entire project myself if that's what it takes. It just might take 5 years, but I will get it done myself. And once it's up and going and money flows through and we put that money to good use, even if I have to do that all on my own, that's what we're going to do. And once that starts happening and good starts coming from it, I think that might change the tide a little bit.
Yeah.
But if there's community involvement, we can get it done really, really fast.
Okay, so you're an Ambucks.
Yeah. Yep.
Which one?
I'm in the AM chapter.
AM with Kip.
Yep.
Okay, so and that's what those guys do.
Yep.
So you should be obviously tapping into that.
I gave a presentation this last weekend, and a lot of people are really excited about it. It's it's hard to explain with a lot of the randomness. They're like, well, is it going to be a drive-in? Is it going to be an event venue? Is it going to be this? And you're like, yeah, it's going to be all of that. And they're like, well, I just don't see it. And it's like, I'll show you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, my wife's that way, where you have to show her after it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
You have to paint the room, and then if she doesn't like it, we got to repaint it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
But it's kind of the thing. You got to think of these Chicken and Pickle. People are building these big event venues that it's multiple. It's you go in and you play pickleball, or you go in and you eat dinner, or you go in and you have a wedding shower, or you go in and you play horseshoes, or there's volleyball, and so it's just a community space that you have a whole bunch of different things, and that's basically all you're doing is creating a Chicken and Pickle, but it's drive-in movie theater and concerts.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's just kind of the same thing but different. So
exactly that. I mean, if you were to look at how much it would cost to construct that theater, like that screen with all that metal and stuff, it would be a pretty penny, and I think it would be a shame to see it go away. And so it's just an outdoor event venue. It has a drive-in, and that will be up and going. But yeah, it's just a really versatile piece of land.
Yeah, very cool.
And this all became because you were just taking family pictures.
Well, you might not have known me for too long, you and I have hung out a few times, and Curtis and I have done plenty of videos throughout the car business and stuff like that together. But if you ask any of my friends or family, I'm pretty out there. I like a lot of projects. I always used to tell people, I don't have any hobbies. I don't know what my hobbies are. But you get me talking with business owners and stuff like that. I love it. I love every little bit of business and entrepreneurship. And that's what gets me excited.
I was going to say, and you've been thinking about starting an entrepreneurial type podcast for quite a while now.
Yeah. So
you don't have a podcast?
Listen,
What?
He's close.
What?
I don't have this cool audio equipment. I got some audio equipment and I tried it and it was terrible. My audio was so bad that I just couldn't bring myself.
Well, it's tough.
As soon as we get our studio set up downtown, it is going to be open for people to use or to rent, and we'll help people get it set up. And
that's what you should do. Is I was gonna say you put up a podcast studio and make it blank where people can come in and put their branding.
Yep. That's what we're trying to do.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like have like an area in back so people can do their own drop screen or logo or whatever. Yeah.
So the podcast that you're referring to, it's called Mission Money Freedom, and the behind the scenes on Mission Money Freedom, the reason why it started is because, in my opinion, everybody starts with money. You get out of school and you get a good job. But nobody teaches you that you really need to manage your time before you do any of that. And then after you manage your time, you need to manage your health, because if you're not healthy, your family wants to spend as much time with you, but health starts there. And then your family. So once you have your time, your health managed, then you put intentional time with your family. And after you have that handled, then we can get to the money aspect. And that's where entrepreneurship gets really fun, because you're doing what you like with these three things. Your time's managed, your health is in good shape, you're hanging out with your family. Now you just take a hobby or something that you just really enjoy doing, and you find a way to monetize that enough to pay for your bills, plus maybe a little bit. If you like what you're doing, you might do it till 9 or 10 o'clock at night and not even think about it, Mm-hmm.
So that'd be me.
Yeah. And it's fun though. It's not a chore.
It feels. I haven't felt like I've worked in 20 freaking years.
And that is the beauty of entrepreneurship. And so Mission Money Freedom, it's not about not making money, because that's important. It's about realizing that money is not where you start on the journey.
Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Anything else before we get out of here? Anything you want everybody to know?
I can't think of anything. Honestly, the biggest thing that people can do, I've had a lot of people reach out and say, what can I do? What can I give you? And I don't want to take any money yet until I know, like, hey, now that the land's cleared, I talked to the guys with the shed. I just didn't want to put a shed out there or commit to a shed until it was cleared. So the next two things are the shed, or the security shack, and the projector house, because those are both cleared off and ready to go. So $20,000 is about what we need to get both of those, and that includes delivery and everything. But even just a little bit of support, liking and following us on Facebook, just to see the stuff that we have going on,
sharing everything you post.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like you said, older folks that really want to see this happen. And I've had some people that are like, I wish I was in good enough health to come out there and help you. And it's like, just share it, because if you can't and you share it, 2 people might come out. Just give us a little bit of following.
Are you YouTubing all this stuff?
Nah, I need to.
You absolutely need to.
Yeah, that would be because the best thing to YouTube is the process.
Yeah.
People don't want to see the movie. They want to see how the movie was made.
Yeah.
That's true.
The process. So think about that. But real quick, the 2 things that you are going for can be sponsored. So if anybody wants to help pay for those and get their name on them.
Oh, yeah, we're on YouTube right now.
We are on YouTube. Yeah. Talk to this guy right here. You could have your name on one of those buildings. So
yeah,
but you got to do it now.
I am the promo supply guy, and so if we do something like that, I'll get a banner. We'll brand the building up with your stuff on there if you want.
Or like when you're having the movies, they can have a big old commercial up there beforehand.
Yep, that's where people asked how much is it going to cost. If we're not open for a private event or something like that, and Enid Buzz is like, hey, we're going to sponsor a community night. It's going to cost $1,000 for this movie. Enid Buzz has it. It's free to come. Everybody just show up. My staff will come out. We'll sit there and we'll set the movie up. We'll play it, and you'll get your branding, just kind of like at the beginning of a movie. You'll have your commercial.
I could see a lot of people doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool.
But no, nothing specific that I could do. Just like and follow on the Facebook page would be awesome.
That's easy. That's free, cheap, easy.
Yep.
Click, click, click.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Matthew, it's been great having you on here.
Yeah, it's a great project. We're excited.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me out here. The visibility really helps.
No problem. Come back anytime.
Okay. We will talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Cheat Raider.
Thank you.
Buzzhead Radio.